We like to think that ghosts come from somewhere: a tragic past, a moment of betrayal, an unresolved crime. That when you sit down at a séance table, if something moves or someone responds, it's because a spirit has found its way back to us. But what if? What if that spirit never existed? What if instead we created it? That's exactly what happened in Toronto in the early 1970s. A group of researchers and skeptics set out to prove that ghosts, whatever they are, aren't necessarily the lingering souls of the dead. That instead, they could be manufactured by a sheer willpower alone. What started as a thought experiment quickly turned into something much stranger, something that defied explanation. The table moved, the lights flickered. A voice from nowhere began to answer them. They called him Philip. But Philip had never lived. Welcome to Paranormal Salad, and today we are diving deep into the Philip ghost seance story. Now, if you haven't heard of this, this is a widely popular seance and scientific experiment held in Canada. So don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe as we dive deep into this amazing paranormal salad case. October 1972. The subject, Philip Alsford. Objective, to establish artificial apparition. Participants, 8 individuals. The location, Toronto. The methodology, group psychokinetic focus, seance protocols, and a controlled environment. This isn't your typical ghost story. There's no forgotten child wandering the halls of decaying mansions, no vengeful spirit lurking in the attic. No, Philip was born on paper, a product of the imagination, deliberate, detailed, and utterly fake. Philip's story was crafted carefully. The team, composed of researchers, skeptics, and paranormal enthusiasts, decided to make him a 17th century nobleman, a dashing, educated man who served King Charles II. They gave him a grand estate, a tragic love affair with a gypsy woman, and a death shrouded in despair. His history was complete. He had a name, a past, a fate. But he was never real. The experiment was simple. Could they, through sheer focus and belief, will Philip into existence? At first, nothing happened. For weeks, they gathered in dim candlelight, hands on table, calling out to the spirit of Philip. And for weeks, the silence was deafening. No knocking, no movement, no whispers, just the quiet hum of doubt, which creeped into everyone in the room. But then something changed. It was subtle at first. A tap, a flicker in the candlelight, enough to make them sit up a little straighter, exchange glances, and wonder if maybe, just maybe, they weren't alone. So they did it again and again. And Philip, he answered. The group established a system. 1 knock for yes, 2 for no. And Philip, who had never walked this earth, never taken a breath, never loved or lost, began to respond. When asked if he was present, a sharp bang rattled the table. When asked if he had died in despair, 2 soft knocks echoed in the room. When asked if he remembered his estate, his love, his betrayal, he answered over and over and over again. But how? This wasn't a Ouija board. There was no charlatans here, no hidden wires, no pre-written answers. These were skeptics, scientists, people who did not believe in ghosts. And yet, Philip was speaking. And Philip, he didn't stop speaking. He didn't stop knocking. The energy in the room grew heavier, thick with anticipation. The group had started laughing, joking, treating Philip as one of their own. And that's when it got weird. The table started to move. Not just little tremors, not just the slight shifting of weight. It levitated. Witnesses, people with no reason to lie, swore that the table lifted completely off the ground, that the unseen hands tilted it, that it vibrated with a force beyond explanation. Philip wasn't just a voice in the dark anymore. He was here. But what was he? A ghost? A psychic projection? A tulip? Something born from human thought and given form? Or had the group unwittingly tapped into something else entirely? Something that had been waiting, watching, and now responding. That's where we leave it for tonight. But trust me, this is only the beginning, because Philip didn't stop here. In part 2, we go deeper into the unexplained escalation of the séance that left the skeptics shaking and had them asking terrifying questions. If a group of researchers could create a ghost, what else could they bring into the world? I'm JAX Ember, and this is Paranormal Salad. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and check out our website at www.paranormalsalad.com. And always, stay safe, stay sane, and keep the lights on. Good night, salad heads.